If you're looking for a reliable source of off-grid power for your overlanding setup, I want to outfit your home in case of an extended power failure. There has never been a better time to invest in a solar generator. It can be very difficult to sort through all the available options on the market, from lunchbox-sized to luggage-sized power stations, from solar panels that can be packed in a backpack to multiple 8-foot-long panels that can be chained together, and to decide which one is suitable for you. In this video, we will review and compare the best solar generators for homes. We will provide you with all the information you need to make an informed decision and choose the perfect solar power station for your needs. And one more thing. To get the best prices for the mentioned products, check the links in the description below. The power stations from Jackery have always impressed me as being easy to operate, almost like the iPhone of portable power stations. Their display panel is straightforward and intuitive. Their bright orange charging cables are color-coded to the power station itself. Anker and EcoFlow also do a great job in this area, but not quite at the level of Jackery. You need to be able to reorient yourself quickly if you only intend to break out your power station once or twice a year. The Explorer Plus 2000 model has a capacity of 3,000 watts, which is enough to power almost every refrigerator on the market today. It can supply about a day of power from its 2043 watt-hour battery before it needs to be charged again with solar panels. As I tested the Explorer 1000 Plus, I found that the machine provided enough power to power appliances with higher wattages on average, which is what I expected. The unit has a durability issue, a crack in the housing, so I don't recommend it for regular users. Using color-coded cables and connectors, Jackery makes pairing additional panels with the power station incredibly easy. In my opinion, setting up all 4 panels in your yard is the best option if you have enough space. I found the EcoFlow Delta 2 to be the most efficient portable power station I tested because of its low weight and easy to use interface, as well as its overall efficiency in converting stored power into usable power. This backs up my impression of the Delta 2 Max, which has the same battery chemistry and design, just more watt-hour capacity. This power station is the best you can find for a solar generator setup. All compared to other power stations I've seen, the EcoFlow Delta 2 Max has 6 AC outlets and a car outlet on the backside, besides the solar and AC input ports. The downside is that it's a bit more complicated to swap out cords frequently, but it's more attractive if you're setting up a static off-grid system. Although this power station has an app like others in my test, I don't recommend using it due to the large power draw. Honestly, you can't beat the EcoFlow 220 watt bifacial portable solar panel for its price. For its cost and weight, it produces more power than anything else I've tried. Unfortunately, setting up and adjusting this solar panel is kind of difficult. It'll warp if you leave it in storage too long. This solar panel from EcoFlow takes a different approach to adjusting its angle toward the sun than the other solar panels in our test. It uses its carrying case to support itself. I was able to set up the panel to face the sun at an optimal angle, but I found that zippering up the carrying case to adjust the angle of the panel once it was already in position was fairly difficult. Although I wouldn't want to set up and take down the EcoFlow 220 watt bifacial portable solar panel every day, I'm okay with doing it once. Although several power stations I reviewed had handles to make them easier to transport, I found that Anker's Solix F2000 power stations were by far the most convenient for transporting. Although I was unable to stand upright with the Jackery's telescopic handle, but I found it comfortable to pull the Anker Solix F2000 by its handle. If you move your power station more than 50 feet at a time, the Anker Solix F2000 is a good choice since it's easy and comfortable to maneuver. This model used the same battery chemistry as the Anker Solix C1000, which took the top spot in my list of the best portable power stations. It delivered both large and small amounts of power efficiently. This model comes with an RV plug-in 2400 watts of power, which is about what an average RV uses throughout the day. I looked at a bunch of bigger solar panels, but the Anker Solix 200 watt was the easiest to use. I liked that there was no separate carrying case to mess with, and it was easy to store the cable in the mesh bag and make sure it didn't separate from the main unit. Just like most other kickstand solar panels, it was a little challenging to use. However, the extra support on the kickstand legs was useful when adjusting the angle of the panel. While this solar panel isn't quite as powerful as the Jackery Solar Saga 200 watt, it easily produced over 75% of its 200 watt capability during my tests. And the Anker Solix F2000 can support up to 5 of these chained together. Unfortunately, there is no sundial component on this panel that the Anker Solix 100 watt has. However, I noticed a 23 watt difference in power input when I adjusted the angle of the Anker Solix 200 watt panel to match the Anker Solix 100 watt panel. Hopefully the company will quickly add this accessory to the 200 watt model in the future, but until then, you can purchase a clip-on sundial separately. One of the things that you will notice repeatedly when looking at the fine print on power stations is a reminder to protect them from the outside environment. Because rain, dirt, and dust can cause permanent damage to the ports and inner workings of these devices. It's a bit of a problem for those of us who love the outdoors and are planning to use these devices when we are camping or overlanding. I've tested several power stations, but the Bluetti AC60 is the only one that is rated to withstand rain and dust. Please keep in mind that this device is not water resistant in the sense that it can be dropped into a lake. Bluetti AC180 was one of the portable power stations I tested as part of my review of the best portable power stations. It's true that I wasn't too impressed with that unit's performance compared to others on the market, but the AC60's weather-resistant features make it one of the top picks on my list. One of the best solar panels I have ever tested is the Bluetti PV100 solar panel. Even though it has a similar size and price as the Anker Solix 100 watt solar panel, during the testing of this product, it produced 16 more watts of output. Its kickstands had snap buttons at the adjustment points, making it simpler to find the correct angle than on solar panels that lack that feature. There are also snaps that hold the package together to make folding it up easier. This means that you will not have to carry an extra carrying case with you. This has become my new go-to panel when I go camping. If you live in a small apartment or a crowded house, you usually won't have much space to keep gear that you don't use every day, including emergency supplies. Anker's Solix C1000 is a surprisingly powerful power station, especially considering how compact it is. The unit is capable of handling a large solar input load up to 600 watts. The unit can also put out 2400 watts at 120 volts, which means it will be capable of powering a wide range of devices, from CPP machines to microwaves, as well as running a refrigerator. Although Anker says you can keep critical systems running in the event of a power outage without a hitch with this device's fast turnaround. The fact is, even if it holds 1056 watts of power and can generate 200 watts at a time, you probably won't be able to survive for a long time. This one is hard to beat if you want to keep everyone's phones charged and turn on your coffee maker at the same time. One of the best designed 100 watt panels I've tried is the Anker Solix 100 watt. This is one of my favorite pieces of camping gear that I've used since my first test of solar panels. This panel beat the 200 watt Jackery Solar Saga because it generated 94% of its claimed output, whereas the Jackery only generated 92%. I was able to align the panel correctly during setup because the panel includes a sundial in the top center. The sundial is such an extremely useful feature that when I aligned the Anker Solix 100 watt panel correctly, I adjusted all the other panels to match it. An instant increase in power was observed. I have been testing this panel for longer than others and have noticed that the edges of the fabric backing have picked up a bit of scuffing. However, this didn't affect the unit's performance at all, even though it's not desirable.